Okay, interesting. How long do you want it to go, sir? Just
Yes,
brief.
sir. 1 minute only. Yes, sir. 1 minute only.
Briefly, no? Okay.
Yes. Ma'am, please.
A very good evening to everybody. Thank you very much for having me here, the World Peace Commission. All the efforts for each and every person down here for initiating this wonderful conference live. I'm Mrs. Rena Khatri Tandon, a certified human rights professional, also a POSH, prevention of sexual harassment and prevention of child abuse, social activist, working in the areas of stress solutions provider. I run a company called Right to Rise, which is India's first and only ISO certified company, 17024 21001, accredited solution provider at organizations, schools, colleges, and NGOs working towards a sustainable solution provider into all gender equality and avoiding any kind of child abuse and women abuse rights. Today, I am here to share my views on how to be a positive mindset person during this pandemic, and RKT Foundation and Right to Rise are here with you all throughout. Thank you very much for having me here.
Thank you so much. We have one more visionary personality, Dr. Arna Vadkar ma'am from Bangalore. Ma'am, please, your brief intro.
Thank you, Dr. Rajarao. It's my pleasure to be on this forum today, and I've been connected with you for the last conferences, which was my pleasure too. And I enjoyed each and every program of yours, and glad to be addressing today for the COVID-19, that is the situation, keeping the positive mindset. So I am an educationist, an entrepreneur. I could name it as edupreneur because I head two organizations. That is Harvest Educational Transformation Solutions, which is into complete teacher trainings, assistance, handholding to schools, teacher trainings with academics and professional development, student enhancing programs, and parenting workshop, and anything that relates to school. We head sphere with all the aspects of it. And I've been into education sector for past 3 decades. And as a principal of CBSE, ICSE, I've been into corporate as well in HSBC Bank backend. I was there so I have the amalgamation of the corporate and the education sector. That's how I had my organization. And when I talk about the amalgamation of corporate and the education, both go hand in hand. And I also run the foundation, which my focus is on serving the society. And we have programs like education and nourishment, Mahila Kshema Bhivruddhi, we have Mahila Udyog, we have holistic human development, where we are getting up onto each and every corner of pan-India and maybe global as well. And I'm also the president of the Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the president heading Karnataka and Training Development Council, where we have 20 women trainers, and we are coming up with many programs. So this is what I am, and I'm very happy to share my views today in front of you people, and let us bring the positivity, happiness, and love to us. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. That happiness there is no otherwise. Thank you so much. Now, I request Deepti Joshi, ma'am, please, a brief intro.
Yeah. So basically, I am a startup specialist. So I am a serial entrepreneur. And I started as an entrepreneur. I had become by accident a serial entrepreneur. So currently, I have successful 2 establishments, many failed, which I will not name actually. So I'm founder MD of Institute of Education Leadership. I'm founder of Financial Institute, which is called Finance Finance. I'm National Director for National Child and Women Development Council, NCWDC. I'm also the National Vice President for Intellectual Being Press Club of Drishti Bharat. I am National Vice President, Maharashtra State President, National Financial Advisor for AICPW, which is Aesthetics International Council for Progressive Women. Regional Bureau Chief for Lok Samna News Channel, Maharashtra State Coordinator for Aegis Grooming Academy. Winner Mrs. India, Voice of Women 2020 Duet. Member, Pradhan Mantri Jan Kalyan Yojana Prasar Prachar Abhiyan. and on board of multiple organizations, which are very small scale. So not naming here. So it's about me. I'm done actually.
Dr. Raja Rao, you have to mute yourself. Unmute yourself, please.
Sorry. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes. Now I request Carly ma'am. To share.
Greetings to all. I'm Dr. Carly, professor, counseling psychologist, and chairman of the Life Foundation, an NGO, where I will be taking care of girl child and young students and women, helping them to improve their standards, supporting them in their education, and also helping them in their self-employment. And my PhD in biotechnology, PhD in theology. I'm a professor in an engineering college. I have done my MA English, so I'm teaching even English, environmental science in engineering college. I'm the faculty advisor of Innovation Cell, faculty advisor of Engineers Without Borders. I'm a soft skills trainer. And also I'm the TV speaker. I'm the national awardee twice, international awardee, and managing director of C8 channel. My aim is to support the society in their distress. I would like to extend my hand and be with them, especially supporting the people under below poverty line. This is about me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Really, it's a wonderful session. I'm thinking that it's going to be a wonderful session because we have visionary people, the guests who have a tremendous, adventurous career with them. Really, it's fabulous to have your presence on this day to fight. It's not fight, it's a war. It's a war against COVID-19. Our main objective of this program is to inculcate positivity into the minds of people. Because the fear is killing people, not the COVID-19. Of course, we all know COVID-19 is killing people, but that is minor. The fear of COVID-19 is killing more than the virus. So, at this juncture, it is the responsibility of we people to shoulder and to enlighten people on that issue. So, once people get rid of this fear, because not only the pandemic, not only the virus, not only the corona, at any time, fear kills people. So, this is the problem with we Indians, especially we Indian students. Many engineering students, though they have more than 80% or 90% marks in their grades, they couldn't get jobs because there is a barrier that is called fear. They cannot properly handle an interview. They cannot handle properly a professional situation because of this fear factor. So that is basically there in the minds of us. So if something happens in China last year that started haunting here, so now in real life it has been haunting ever since that started in China. So it is our turn. We have to get rid of our fear that is there in our minds. So it needs some motivation. It needs some motivation. So we have today wonderful motivational speakers, motivational trainers, skills trainers. The people those who have today, they can get rid of the people, those who are suffering with fear. It's a disease. It's a disease more terrifying than that coronavirus. So we will discuss this issue from psychological perspective. For that, we have today a counseling psychologist, Dr. Vijay Carlin, ma'am, because she's a counseling psychologist. She knew the mind of the people. They study the mind of people. In the present scenario, if you see the markets, if you see the cities, we have more number of doctors to cure the disease of body, but we cannot see psychologists or psychiatrists. Rarely we can find them. So it is the responsibility of the counseling psychologist to take initiative on this issue, how people can get themselves free from this fear factor. So now I request Dr. Vijay Carlin, ma'am. She's a professor, counseling psychologist. Moreover, she's a great social activist. She has to address the issue so that we can get some remedies on this. Now I welcome Dr. Vijay Carlin to speak. Please, ma'am.
Yeah, good evening, one and all. I'm Dr. Carlin, counseling psychologist and professor. We are addressing the trauma, post-traumatic disorders of pandemic COVID-19. We know very well COVID-19, it has affected total globe since 2019. It has struck the people and made them in fear struck. Especially fear arised in the minds of the people. Before pandemic, they were living very happily, leading their life peacefully. Their activities, day-to-day activities are perfect. There is no stress, there is no trauma. But the pandemic, COVID-19, has created a great trauma and fear in the minds of the people. Why? For what they were so much feared, what it has made them to be so scary. We all know it is coronavirus. It affected the lives of the people. It infected millions of people, killed millions of people. In the first wave, we have seen the lockdown. Let us concentrate what has happened during lockdown. Lockdown, it has created a kind of drama, tense, chaos, all confusion in the minds of the people. Everything was like held it where they were struck there. Many of the people lost their jobs, so there is economic loss. Many of the people were distressed because of the extraordinary loss of their family members. And many of the people were in tense that they will be infected with the coronavirus. And there is a great tense because of the social distancing. We are social moving people. We would like to, in the midst of the people, enjoy the life with our friends, family members, celebrating. Everything was held it and no one are allowed to enjoy. So a kind of tense which they haven't expected earlier. Their life was very smooth, but there was sudden struck. So that affected their mental condition. So if we concentrate, there is a heightened distress in the minds of the people. So that distress caused them physical, emotional, psychological emotions that has developed. That led them to negativity. And they were so tense of the economic loss, they're unable to cope up with that. Still, the second wave has created more panic in the minds of the people. And we are hearing every day one death news of our friends, relatives, cousins. It is great chaotic. Definitely, it is going to create a kind of distress. And the people, they have forgot to laugh and giggle. So this mental disorders has to be addressed. They are totally in distress. So what happened if people are in distress, if people are in chaotic? Definitely that causes a great damage to their personal life, to the great damage to the family members. So personally, how it affects. So most of the people who are with distress, they will be suffering with sleeping disorders. We call it as insomnia. Their fear of their future. So, and they will not be emotionally healthy. For petty things, they will be intense. So all these mental disorders has to be addressed. If we observe that, we can see a lot of negativity has been developed in the minds of the people. So this negativity is high, that affects the happiness, well-being of the people. So what is the role of the psychologist? What they have to do? When the people are in complete distress, people are in complete chaos, the role of the psychologist are high. Even now, if we observe, the researchers also have shown positive psychology is very important. So the role of the psychologist, counseling psychologist are very important. They have to step into the society and support the people who are in distress. They have to address them immediately. So it is more dangerous if people are in distress, having a great negativity. It is going to cause a lot of unrest in the family. When family is in unrest, it affects the society. When society is in unrest, total nations leads to globally. It affects. So impacts are high. So every country is in distress, if we observe. So this pandemic distress is noticed globally. That's why we call it as pandemic. It affected total globe, national, internationally it has affected. So every country is taking the support of psychologists, counseling psychologists. Here, India also now expecting the support of the psychologist and counseling psychologist. Only they can help the people to come out. Even if we observe, not only the common people, but also students, they are well affected. School students, college students, they lost their academics. And as a psychologist, when I approach students, they say, online classes, we are unable to understand. So there is kind of tension in their minds. What about the future? What they're going to be? As they're unable to understand the subject. So academic loss, the career growth is in darkness. So not only coronavirus, as it is going to affect them, are they going to be going to suffer with this coronavirus? Apart from that there are many more issues which are affecting their mental healthiness. So this has to be addressed. And health workers working for a long period, and they are also in much distress. Even I deal with the health workers. I counsel students, I counsel common people, I counsel health workers. They are in lot trauma that if they are infected, they may carry the virus to their home and the family members will be affected. So, though they take a lot of care, they get isolated and take a lot of care, still they will be intense that family members will be affected. So this kind of unrest is going to affect the total nation. So this has to be addressed. There's even say the people who are struck with fear, who are with the negative mind, their health is going to be deteriorated. They cannot recover quickly. So positive thinking is very important. Psychologists, counseling psychologists only can build up the confidence in the minds of the people. So confidence is very important. Erasing the negativity is very important. It has to be addressed. So we have to encourage them to develop positive thinking and have confidence. The coronavirus is not going to affect them, their family. They have to enjoy their life in this situation. Of course, it is distress. It's very horrible situation. But even then, all this negativity has to be addressed. We have to encourage them. We have to motivate them. Every day, I will be speaking to many coronavirus infected people. They will be declaring, ma'am, I'm going to die. My lungs got damaged to 75%, 80%. I'm corona positive. What about my kids? They will be affected. What about my husband? If husband is corona, what about my family? So this distress will be continued every day. I say, don't think much. Though your lungs are damaged to 75%, you recover. First, you develop confidence in you and declare, like self-hypnotism, declare yourself that I'm healthy and perfect. Such kind of boosting words will definitely help them to improve their health and they come out from the fear. So fear is going to, already we knew there is a statement, fear leads to death. So fear, anxiety, depression, trauma, all these are going to develop stresses. These stresses will ruin the health of the people. So as a psychologist, I say, we have to encourage people to build up the confidence. This pandemic situation is only temporary. We have to help them to come out from the negative feeling. So negativity has to be eradicated, inculcate in the minds of the affected or traumatic people to develop positive thinking. Yes, social distancing. The other second thing I would like to say, social distancing. This is affecting many people. So as we are social human beings, we would like to be in the midst of the people and enjoy, as I said, as I referred in the beginning. So this is also affecting the minds of the people. So we have to encourage them to utilize the technology. Though miles apart, we can be in contact as if we are in face-to-face interaction. So use the technology, make video calls, speak to your friends. So I encourage my clients to speak to their family members, to speak to their friends, and be happy. Share your feelings, share your affection, share your love. This is going to boost the positivity in the minds of the people. So social distancing can be erased, not by physical presence, but using technology, we can help them to lead happiest life. So this is one. And the third thing is, as I said, insomnia, sleeplessness. So sleeping disorders, because of the fear, because of the anxiety, sleeping disorders are very high. People are not sleeping properly. They're scared. They will be affected by coronavirus. Their family members, they may lose. This kind of traumatic situations are high in the minds of the people. So psychologists have to inculcate some therapies like cognitive behavior therapy. In depression, insomnia, we can use aromatherapy. And we can take up some relaxation techniques and we can help them to come out from insomnia. So depression has to be addressed. I had, just 2 days back, I received a call and she said, ma'am, see, no, my family members, I did not lose anyone, but this is creating a kind of unrest in my mind. There is no social moving. I cannot move to my friend's house. I cannot be happy. I'm isolated life. My kids are my children are in abroad. I'm all alone. My husband, he will come and will be busy with his own work. I'm alone. I'm not feeling like living. I would like to commit suicide. She said very openly. And I was shocked. She doesn't have any problem. There is no economic problem. Why she want to commit suicide? She did not lose her family members. This is a kind of trauma because of the loneliness. So empathy is important. Psychologists and counseling psychologists have to show empathy, be compassionate to their clients. Whoever approach them, be more empathetic. The main thing nowadays, no one is listening. Everyone are in fear struck. So psychologists and counseling psychologists have to be more empathetic, especially if you listen to them. Most of their anxiety, fear will be vanished. So we have to listen to them. We have to be more compassionate. So this will erase half of their anxiety and fear. And by taking up some techniques, we can help them to come out from the this kind of loneliness, depression, anxiety, fear. So this is very important. So role of psychologists in the society is high. We have to encourage them to build up positive thinking, positive activities, positive planning, positive process. What are these? Number one, they have to love themselves. Yes. Anyone may question me, what is this in this tension period? Where is the attitude of loving ourselves? We need to love ourselves. We need to appreciate ourselves. We need to be kind to ourselves. We have to be more compassionate to ourselves. So this will boost up some kind of positiveness in the minds of the people, and they start liking, loving, compassionate to others. So psychologists have to help them to build up this kind of positive process, positive thinking. They have to be more kind, compassionate. We have to encourage them to develop some kind of their hobbies, which they have lost in the some previous years. We have to encourage them to develop some hobbies. And during this isolation period, in this tension period, if they take up some hobbies like art, dance, music, that gives a great relief. So this is also one therapy, music therapy. And even doctors, they say people who are COVID positive, but if we encourage them and help them to have some relaxation, if they're relaxed, the COVID is going to turn up into negative. So relaxation techniques are very important. So I encourage my clients to have little meditation of 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and do some little exercise, little moving of our hands, legs, a dance, though we are not good dancers, with a little music. Take the music and have little steps. This creates a kind of positiveness. So this is going to help the people to lead very happiest life. So encourage them to do some gardening, some work. They have to be busy. If they are not busy, they will be thinking only about coronavirus. So the situations are in very horrible. So we have to encourage them to concentrate on their interest, their desires. Let them have future plans. Think about the future in a bright way. So if we encourage them in this way, definitely they come out from post-traumatic disorders and physical, psychological emotions, and they come out from the depression, anxiety, insomnia. Definitely they will be leading very happiest life. So only the way we can make people healthy and happy to develop by developing positive thinking, positive attitude, loving themselves and supporting others, be compassionate and take up some interest, desires, improve the standards of the life and support everyone. So this is only way we can bring happiness and smile on the faces of the distressed. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. On this dais, we request the government of India to give priority to counseling psychologists. That's very important. That's very crucial.
Yes,
because we have so many number of physical doctors, but this is also very important. Psychological, I mean, counseling psychiatrists, psychologists, they are also very important. We hope that will be implemented soon. We think so. Thank you, ma'am. It's a really pathetic to see millions of dead bodies on the streets. After seeing all those dead bodies, to be brave or to get rid of fear, it's a really it's a challenging task. But still, then we have to, because in a lifetime, we have to see many such challenges, because one generation faced the World War, one generation faced the Second World War, some generation faced so many challenges like other pandemics. So for this generation, we have COVID-19, which is a biggest challenge in the humanity. But we think that by reframing our mindset, we can conquer this virus. We think so, because in the last conference, when we had a tough challenge in the form of unemployment, there was one person to solve all the challenges. That's none other than our Dr. Aruna ma'am from Bangalore. She has given almost all answers in that conference. Really, it was amazing to hear her. Ma'am, thank you so much to have you here in this meeting. I think certainly you give a right answer to reframe our mindset during this pandemic. We hope so. We welcome Dr. Aruna Wadekar ma'am from Bangalore, its director. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rajarao. And yes, each one of us should try how much positiveness or how much solutions we can provide to each and every one. Whatever we can, even if it is a small bit of it, we should be doing that. That is what is a mindset. But yes, as per the theme today and the topic, as you know, war against the COVID-19 and the theme like positive mindset. Yes, it does make a huge difference when we talk about it or we think about it. Why? Let me just tell you this. Because Dr. Carolyn very beautifully mentioned as being a psychologist, how important a psychologist's role is during this period. Yes, definitely. I completely agree with you, Dr. Caroline. But at the same time, it is actually each and every person's duty that we have to really work on those aspects, what you mentioned. Now, when we are talking about developing a positive mindset, thinking positive, doing positive, what is actually the positive thinking that we are talking about? It is a positive thinking or an optimistic attitude, anything you can name it. But again, it is not that everybody has innately. Some of them work towards it. Some of them have innately the nature in itself that they have the positive mindset, which can vibe up with the energy and make sure that one person, herself or himself, pass on to the others the positiveness to make them into a positive mode. And or you can also say that, you know, the others in a very simple term, focusing on the good, regardless whatever situation you are, you know, because focusing on good is really needed, because it leaves a big impact on your physical and mental health. It doesn't mean that, you know, you completely ignore the reality or the problems that are coming up. We, you know, very easy saying than, than doing it or practicing it or making others do it, regardless, whatever. But then it simply means that your approach, or you approach the good and the bad in life with the expectation that all things will go well. Now here in this situation, we are seeing that each and every individual, you name it, when we have our normal back, when we have it, it is like we go around, hug people, share our love, we face to face, we meet them, we have parties, we have outings, so many things we do, but all that is missing. And especially for our kids, especially even the old age people who are like caged into the four walls. Yes. And even the one who are working, daily traveling, meeting people, everything is stopped. It's come at a standstill. Why? It could be many reasons which we, each one of us would not be able to relate to. It could be our own ignorance. It could be ignorance of the other person, or taking it as granted, okay, nothing would happen to me. But then this corona or the COVID-19 is as such in the second wave that it is every next door we see the lives are going. But why do we need to have? Yes, there are situations around you. You get up in the morning, open up your WhatsApp, you see that, okay, this person, this affected, they are affected, friend is affected, everywhere. Go on Facebook, you see the same thing. Let us not, yes, it is right in front of you. You cannot ignore it. You will not be able to go away from it. But yes, only thing that you need to think is, yes, this is going on. I have to be strong. I have to make sure that I be strong and make sure that I make at least one person or my neighbor, anybody, nothing to worry. You will be fine. So bringing that positiveness is very much required, because as Dr. Carolyn said, researches have been done. Some studies have also shown that positive thinking helps people manage their own illness and eases their own depression, regardless of whether they are naturally optimistic or pessimistic. So these are the factors which not everybody might know, but yes, we have to see that how many people we can bring that awareness of positive thinking. That is very, very important. Because just sharing a small story behind, maybe everybody would know that. There was a patient who had, got admitted in a hospital, and he was about to have a surgery. He was so much terrified. He was so much depressed. He was like, okay, I'm not going to live anymore. My surgery, because usually we have a taboo that, surgery leads to, we never know whether it will be successful or not successful. So that always it's running in the mind of the patient. So what happened is the regular checkup, the rounds, the doctor came, they take up rounds. So one of the doctor came to his bed and said, okay, how are you doing today? So they said, yeah, I'm doing good. What happened? Are you going to undergo a surgery today? Said, yes, I'm going to go ahead today, the surgery. And yes, I am a bit worried. And who's doing your surgery? So he said name of the doctor. And she said, oh, wow, this particular doctor is you're getting surgery from this particular doctor. Oh my goodness, he is one of the best. Do you know, not even one case under him has been a failure. I am so happy, but you could get that doctor. It is a big thing for you to get the treatment from. And the face of the patient, it immediately changed, because that particular doctor, another doctor who was on rounds, had already built in the positive thinking, telling that not even one failure has happened because of this doctor, which means that I'm the 101st one who will be going under surgery and I will not be a failure. And trust me, he went positive mindset. I'm going to go with a smile on the face. And he got the set. But I narrate the story. The only thing why I narrated is, unless the person has the most positive mindset in himself, you will not be able to face anything. Or as it was mentioned earlier, due to fear, due to depression, that person on the surgery table would have gone. That fear in him will be at the back of the mind, even if you're in the anesthetic situation or the process, on the bed, but it will be at the back of the mind. He could just die. So what I need to put it in across to everybody is every situation in your entire lifetime presents you with different options. As they say, it is like 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. What are we reacting towards this pandemic? What are we doing? Are we really reacting? And don't we just close your eyes and just think, aren't we really reacting, overreacting to the situation? Though there are many, many cases, 700, 800,000, 2,000 deaths happening every nook and corner. And this lady is telling that, that is 90% how to react. Yes, it is very important how you react to it. Why we say that? Because when we want to come out of that negativity, you just need to have a mindset appreciating the things that you have. There are people, as mentioned, all alone by themselves. They don't have anything. They don't have any source. Where would they look out for? And they're not tech savvy to order food. They're not tech savvy to go to Practo and tell, okay, I need the suggestion, I need the medication. They cannot do it. But even then, look around you, learn to appreciate everything that you have in your life. Think about your family, think about your friends, think what I should do after this pandemic. Your whatever you can bring of the goodness, the happiness in you, enough to create a positive attitude. No matter how bad things in life can get on, we still must be thankful for everything that we have, because putting things into perspective of your positiveness, and then we can enjoy the goodness of life. But very important here is the factor of react versus respond. What actually is react versus respond? These two words are, the difference between a happy, enthusiastic, positive person and a sad, frustrated, negative person. That is react versus respond. How? When anything happens in life that affects you, both, directly and indirectly. Directly is you are the sufferer of the COVID-19. Indirectly is you're listening to the rumors, you're listening to the news, you're watching your Facebook, watching your WhatsApp. That is indirectly, that is coming to you. Those respond to the situation. This means that you have to find a solution for this and take appropriate measures. But when you react, you skip off the reasoning stage and do what comes naturally to you. Okay, I got affected with COVID-19, but let me bring up all that was guided or we got from a good WHO precautions, process and precautions. Let me think about it. Okay, I have to wash hands. I have to be healthy. My environment has to be clean. My clothes need to be washed daily. And am I having the citric aspects of fruits and juices every now and then? Am I really responding to what I know? And if you are responding to that, taking care of your own self, trust me, that will really, really clear away your problems, your frustrations. So respond, but do not react. That is what we all say. And another aspect, what I could come to you is start in the right direction. What does that mean, that start in the right direction? Is it that early morning we get up, before opening eyes, go to the WhatsApp? No, it is wake up with a smile and with the energy that you have, so that that energy is put into others. The way you respond to yourself, you will respond to the others. So you have a lot to accomplish and enjoy in your life in spite of the situation that is going on. Life is short and you are going to make the most of the day and every day after that. Another one, divert your mind. The third aspect, take responsibility for your future. What is that? What responsibility do I take? Offices are closed, schools are closed, professions nowhere, everything work from home. What do I do? This is the part. Build up the base on anything that you want to do in future. It will not be forever. It will pass on. It will change. This is just a phase. It will pass on. And this pandemic or this phase will never be forever. So the base that you build up now helps you to restart your dreams to thoughts into action, and your action will definitely, dear viewers, will provide results. And it is not that, we are talking about, oh, very easy, this lady is going on telling, but no, this is what you have to really bring it. But as I said, not everybody would have that positive mindset innately. Some we have to tell them, and it is very difficult to tell the person who is really facing this issue. And especially the students, they cannot talk to their parents openly. They cannot express their feelings open to anybody because they are confused. Parents themselves are frustrated. They themselves are they don't know what to do. But where is the solution? The solution is keeping up the positive mindset. And don't listen to your mind's negative thoughts. Many times, even me, when I listen, many of our principals passed away. And every time we see that principals are they're just losing their lives. Then what happens is the negative thoughts, more you get, the more it will affect you. The nature of the human mind is to often worry, anxiety, and fear. Every time, any little, some are sensitive. They come up very quickly, they are getting affected, but some are having a lot of willpower and they have the strength to bear it and they can overcome. They shoo away the negative thoughts. However, how actually does it come? The mind can easily exaggerate problems, making them appear more serious than they actually are. That is what is happening now. Yes, it is serious. It is not to be denied, but at the same time, how we take it. Our thoughts also are very powerful, when we think powerfully that no, we have to face it. It is a phase. Let us do it. Let us face it. Let us save, spread awareness. Let us save at least one life or give them food, pass on the ration, pass on anything that we could do from our end will determine our perception of the world. Our mindset is very, very powerful. What you think, you do. So let not the negative thoughts come to your mind to think that. Take it out. That is very, very important. And we also, difficult path leads to progress. How? Trials and tribulations give us the opportunity to progress. Why? Because people should look at this as an opportunity to overcome difficulties. How? As we today, across the globe, across the state, across the channel we are talking about, meeting each other, we are sharing our thoughts. How are we doing it? This is an opportunity for us that we are talking, we are sharing. Otherwise, in case technology was not there, we were not able to connect, WhatsApp was not there, what would have happened? Just think of that, right? So be blessed that we are really having many sources still to connect, still to share, still to give a lot towards the society and to your peers. And very importantly, that is, adversity can be an opportunity to learn more about yourself. Okay, other people and how to cope up with life, unpleasant lessons, whatever it is, try to reflect your own self. Am I making myself strong? Am I taking care of myself? Am I doing a bit of the help that I'm doing to the society? Am I doing, think about yourself, groom yourself, know yourself more. Only then this phase you'll come up, like a flower blooming. The plant dries up, the flower dries up, but then one sees, okay, this plant can definitely live, and we go on nourishing it. Then definitely there is the bloom of the flower. Why don't we bring that into everybody's life? The bloom of their thoughts, the blooming of their nature, the blooming of bringing that positivity to everyone. Let us go ahead and do many things that is not So first fix the negatives, like a bad filter, taking the blame, because suppose taking the blame as in, suppose somebody is affected with COVID and you think that, and that particular person just passed away, but you feel that, I didn't go to meet that person. So we start blaming ourselves because of me. So don't take that. Predicting disaster, oh, this might happen. This news is real, and so many people, maybe today I'm also going to die because the situation is very near to my locality, even that I should, assuming things of disaster. So many things that you have to never ever think of it. So the negativeness in your mind, in your thought, has to be taken away completely. It is not that easy. Trust me, it is not. When you notice a negative thought, just try your power in your own self to stop it. Shift your focus to the positiveness. Okay, this is what is the news that is coming. Okay, let me shift it. Let me listen to the music. As Dr. Carolyn said, music is there. Do the dancing, something. You can just divert your mind. Think rationally about the situation. If it helps you to let go, then you can definitely give yourself and those around you the grace, the positiveness, and the happiness that they can come out with. So, however, let me tell you that the negative thoughts won't go away overnight. But yes, as I said earlier, some have innately, some have to practice. So there are many things that can be brought into practice to bring that positiveness. You have to train yourself to more having a positive outlook. Remember, you aren't overlooking the facts, but you are just including those aspects that are good. Meditate, you have to go, they're all, but some of them don't do it. But even then they are, because their fear is stopping them somewhere, or their schedule is not allowing to. So there are many aspects to it. So practicing positive is very good in a very simple manner. That is, always have a smile on your face. Even the patient or the person, when you're even with your mask, your smile is seen and your eyes smile because you're having that empathy towards that person. Okay, this is what I'm going to do to you. The person who smile, and most of the stress is gone, and they have their neutral expression with that. So anything that comes up, you have to be really, really with the positive mindset. Focus on your strength. You have to, I'm as a speaker here, but trust me, this pandemic has brought me a lot of things. And I should say the pandemic is a blessing in disguise to me, because my organization from 2017, I was the only person along with it. But this COVID, I was able to connect thousands of people. People got connected to my organization, and it is a 25 people organization, and it is really, really doing good. And not in terms of earnings, but what we are doing, giving services to the people. Trust me, then you see the positivity in any situation you are, because diversion is required. Your mindset that has to be there in everyone. You have to divert your mind. So we are here in order to give that positiveness, spread that awareness, what positively, how much you can give. And also, let me tell you that some of the research studies have shown that that one pandemic or the one disaster is bad enough, but you can stabilize it with your immune system further and avoid the crippling energies that comes in your life, but have the emotional aspect touched with each other through your love, through your words, through your action, through your messages, through anything, the virtually, anything that can be, you are able to give, just give it. Because your mind is such a powerful thing that it can just, you will feel that it just starts to change your thought process totally. So the only thing in the end, I would say that become your own best friend first with your mind. Be your friend with your mind. Spend some time in there. what I need to do, how I need to do, whom I should send a lovely heart message, I love you, because, and how many of y'all are responding to your enemies? I'm so sorry, whatever happened, because we would never know whether we are there tomorrow or not. That is the negativity. But the positivity is connect with them you are having your negative mindset. You have not spoken to that person for long. Just go ahead, talk to them. At least whatever is happening, you will be peace in your own self, that you had cleared the gap between them and you. And there is one more person, if anything happens to you, will come running to help you. So that is what, be your best friends with your own mind. Spend some time there. And we all will find a solution, my dear viewers, my spectators. Trust me, we are going to find a solution. We are creating a winning attitude to help others, to be empathetic and share love and affection. As hard and as hopeless the situation may seem right now, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Trust me, we all are going to reconnect physically very, very soon. And trust me, that will be like getting a new life, and it will be really, really wonderful. In the end, I would just like to say that a positive attitude gives you the power over your circumstances, instead of your circumstances having power over you. So make your power, your mind, be your power. And that is all. And let us go ahead and be very, very positive to all the situations that we are into, and spread that love and affection. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. It's a really wonderful presentation. Really very happy to hear you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now I invite CHR Raina Tandon, ma'am, a wonderful speaker, CEO of Right to Rise. Really, she rises to the occasion. Ma'am, we welcome you heartily to give your presentation. Please.
Thank you very much, Raja Rao sir. Thank you very much, the dignitaries. I've been hearing the wonderful insights that you have been sharing. I choose to make this very brief and very focused. Let's look at the emotion that we are present now, and where are we looking at the viewers to reach. We spoke about fear. Fear is an emotion that is induced by some danger or some threat. We always look at fear as something that is always within us. Yes, fear lives in us, in our mind, in our heart, and is always going to stay there. It is ultimately developed because we have some kind of behavioral changes, psychological changes that each one of us are facing. And that's never going to go. So if we are looking at changing fear, I'm really sorry, we can't let it go. It's a part of us. Now, what we can do is we can make it our strength. We can't get over it, but we can make it our strength. And today in pandemic, what we need to do is to work on our fear. We can't remove it. We don't need to control it, because the more you try to control, the more you will find stress building up. Okay, so you can't control fear. We are here to look at a positive mindset. Positive attitude and mindset, like Dr. Aruna, like Caroline ma'am have already said, it is something that you develop with something which you have different processes like art therapy, dance therapy, different modes, methodologies. I just say very simple. Positive attitude is something what you love to do. It could be drinking a cup of coffee. It could be spending a time on your balcony. It could be even looking at the flowers that bloom, or even water that pours down like rain from somebody's balcony onto yours. Because you can look at it like a positive attitude, or you can look at that person and say, why are you dirtying my balcony? Okay, I'll give you a little example on that. I have a boy who's 11 years old. And yesterday he came up to me and he said, why are you sitting so sad, Mama, on the balcony? I said, look, this same road, we had loads of traffic 2 years back because we stay on the main road. And today, there is not even one vehicle outside. It's so sad that it's something like this. He said, look around. Don't you like to go on vacation? I said, yes. Don't you like fresh air? I said, yes. Don't you like green grass? I said, yes. So enjoy all that. Look, we have a beautiful garden which is green and not brown because of the traffic. The roads which are empty with nature of freshness of air. And we are sitting and enjoying like as if we are sitting at a resort, enjoying the fresh breath of air. And I was thinking, am I actually looking at a perspective differently, or is my boy looking at it in a more beautiful way? We can always stand there looking at what makes us happy, and that will create that positive attitude in us. Positive attitude cannot be looked at outside. It has to be looked within. I always say we are here with 3 Ds: danger, damage control, and depression. The 3 Ds that we need to face, fight, and we need to overcome. How are we going to overcome danger? Danger तो रोज आता है. Danger तो आपके पास COVID ना हो तभी भी danger होता है, because you can always fall sick, you can get sardi, you can get khasi. What is COVID? It is a disease that is caused by something that you're breathing in the air, form of touch, a kind of virus that comes into you, which you any which ways get in cold, cough, fever, and we are going to the remedy of it by the means of medicines. Why do you need medicine? Maybe because we've not taken the precautions. Let's read the paper today. I don't know how many of us actually read the newspaper. If we start visiting the news and read the newspaper, we have very intellectual people writing there. I remember reading Mr. Raghuram Rajan. I'm sure you know, he's the former governor RBI. He's written, if you were careful, if you were cautious, you had to recognize that it wasn't done yet. That means if you had been little careful with all the precautions and you wouldn't have probably gone out so carefree, then we would not be at 350,000 and even more at Maharashtra. Okay, these are the number of COVID cases that keep increasing every minute. Is that not danger? Yes. Is that damage control? Yes. Have we been doing it? Maybe not. So let's work on that. Let's work on how we can overcome it with positiveness. Who's going to be positive? You. If not you, then who? अगर आप नहीं करोगे तो कौन करेगा? All you can do is simple things. I have distributed 200 masks, what a normal person wears. Just the blue mask, which cost only 10 rupees, almost 5 days a week last week. Go and look around, go in your vehicle, whatever vehicle you have, double masked, give it to any person who you see on the road who's not wearing it. And I'm sure you'll find so many people. I have found so many people who are not wearing it. Okay, or people who are half wearing it. They wear only till their nose and they're not wearing it below. Is that what we know as precaution? Simple things. Positive attitude comes next. Positive attitude is what do you do with yourself and with others. That is care, affection, empathy. Next comes listening. Why are you wearing this mask this way? Because I need to wear it. Not because I want to be safe. This is the answer we get. You have to wear it because you have to be safe, my friend. It is not for somebody else, it is for you. We need to see how the positivity is going to come from within, how the fear, damage control, and the danger is going to go. You only fail when you stop trying. This is what we have heard. But the key to success is to focus not on the obstacle. COVID आया है, COVID आया है, COVID आया है, आज ये वाला वैक्सीन है, कल वो वाला वैक्सीन है, आज ये म्यूटेशन है, आज वो वेरिएंट है. We are only discussing about the problem. We are not looking at small things that can work on the solution. if we focus on the responsibility of our life, that we are going to follow washing hands, taking precautions. We don't need to go out. A lot of people go out giving reasons that we need to buy some food, we need to buy some grocery, we need to buy some social distancing is not a choice. Social distancing is supposed to be done just like your routine. It's a sudden disruption. Now, you must be thinking, okay, disruption aaya hai, so we are facing it and there's so much stress in it, right? Think about last year. Why is this year more than last year? Last year, we were not prepared. Last year, it came out of a sudden. Last year, yes, it was a lesser variant than this year, but why should there be more cases when we are already indoors? We are already sitting indoors. We knew the precautions and still cases are rising because last year we did three things. We keep communicating. We did A, B, and C. What was A? We accepted whatever Mr. Modi and the other leaders told us that we are hit with pandemic. We accepted it immediately. We stayed calm. We stay bonded. Do you remember taking that spoon, fork, knife, plate and started hitting everybody and everybody said, yes, we are in it together. Remember that day? We were all in it together that we will support each other and stand strong. Where did that strength go? Because we are not following the protocols. Because we are given up that, we are okay to be casual. We are okay to go out, but we are not okay to follow rules. Accept and stay calm is your A. B, buoyancy. What is buoyancy? Buoyancy is keep moving. Whatever the situation is, keep moving. I have got a cold. Yes, I take the medicine, keep moving. I need to get up in the morning and exercise, eat good food, sleep well, drink water. 3 protocols that government has given. Drink umpteen number of water liters. Eat healthy food, which is cooked at home. 3, sleep. Sleep at least 7 to 8 hours. Why are they saying that? Simple things. They've not told such big, complicated things, nor did they tell you to get remdesivir injections, nor did they tell you that you need oxygen. If you follow these 3 things, how many of us sleep well? We are only stressed. We don't sleep, we only stress. Okay, so remove that stress and convert it into sleep. Sleep well, you will be happier because that positivity actually sets in when you sleep. And you're fresh the next morning to welcome everything that is abundantly coming to you. So A, accept and stay calm. B, buoyancy. Move, move, move. No matter how much of trouble you can see, keep moving. Yeah, you're watching the news. Look, I am nobody to say, don't watch news, don't watch newspaper. Everybody has a choice. But choose what you pick from those social media. Whether it is Facebook, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Instagram, whether it's newspaper, social media, TV, choose what is right for your mindset to set in. If I'm going to choose all the negativity, it's not helping me anywhere, right? So we choose the positive. See, we were communicating with each other. How? We did not have meeting that time, but we hopped on to all social media. We were there on Zooms. We were doing even, I could see even building people singing songs, playing Antakshari, getting together, having even the festivity together. They were having social media meets together. A lot of meets happened last year compared to this year because now people are tired also. But continue meeting your loved ones. How many of us pick up the call every morning and speak to at least 10 people? I do it every day. Pick any 10 people from your phone book and speak to them. Maybe a minute. How long does it take? Hi, how are you? Are you good? Are you fine? Maybe crack a joke. Spread the smile. Only 10 people a day. Not very difficult. But do we do it? We're so addicted to social media, Telegram and WhatsApp. It doesn't help, my friends. because we are so stuck to devices. Yes, technology is good, but use the technology to bond and communicate. A, B, C will help you stabilize, settle down, accept and stay calm, bond and buoyancy, C, communication, keep communicating. However you communicate, I leave it to you, your phone, you go meet people with precautions, you are with family, spending time with family, meeting people on the staircase, keep the precautions. Okay, because if we say do this, people will always do the opposite. Our mind is reframed like that. Okay, so you need to see what's the best way you want to communicate. Stay positive, stay indoors. This is not the first pandemic wave. We have more to see. But if you want to boost your confidence, then like we already have so many booklets that tell us, yes, we have psychology experts, we have mental health experts, we have people who are fitness experts, we have even individual speakers, trainers, coaches, and many people who say that symptoms now are not pandemic or COVID. We don't need to be fear of COVID. We should be worried about persistently being sad, anxious, empty, irritable, frustrated, feelings of guilt, pessimism, feeling of not being good enough. That's because we are isolated. This economic downtown, economic trauma is just killing us from inside. It's exacerbating the feelings of inside and it's creating thoughts which are not going to occur. I will leave you with 3 thoughts. Find your hope. Which hope do you feel is impossible? Find it and break it. I am going to create maybe a passion. I'm going to do a new learning. I'm going to develop technology. I'm going to go out and spend some time with family. I'm going to create a financial build for me. I'm going to create my goals. I'm going to work on myself, on my mindset, on my self-growth, giving self-love, bonding with people, creating less enemies. Do something that creates hope. Hope builds compassion. Compassion will build love. And that will create a lot of positive mindset for you. 2, keep a schedule. Every day in the morning, same time, same place, get up, eat, sleep, do exercise, have a healthy food, schedule certain things in the day. That will help you have a systematic day spent. No matter what happens outside, your inside will be calm and structured. Keep a schedule. That's the way to cope up with anything that happens outside, no matter what comes in. पूरी दुनिया इधर की उधर हो जाए, लेकिन आप structured रहेंगे. Third, be productive about your free time. What are you doing about your free time? You want to sleep? You want to do yoga, exercise, read books, cycle, passion, guitar, clean your closet, iron your clothes, forgotten to do anything in the kitchen, learn a new skill, learn a new cooking skill, any of the things, what you're doing with your free time. Just because we are self-isolated, just because we have everybody at home, doesn't mean we get into this phase of let's flow with everybody. Because if you get into that let's flow with everybody, then what happens is, if the whole world is panicked, you are panicked. If the whole world is not doing anything, you are not doing anything. If the whole world is feeling fearful, you feel fearful. And we don't have to do that. We have to get up and see how we can connect with others face to face, reframe our perspective of life and theirs. It's okay to feel upset. It's okay to feel fearful. It's okay to feel depressed, my friends. But a real person who will break through this time is only the person who has the opportunity to see in every problem, how do I grow? And growth means movement, buoyancy. You don't have to become a leader. You don't have to win an award. You don't have to do anything big. But if you can break from your routine, which was creating this negative mindset, to a positive mindset, a small thing. Maybe you didn't wake up in the morning doing an exercise. Maybe you didn't read a book. Maybe you didn't write an article. Maybe you didn't spend some time with people. Maybe you didn't work on your projects. Maybe you didn't create one PPT. Maybe you didn't meet somebody. Maybe you didn't call somebody. Maybe you didn't work on your exercise, or maybe you didn't do anything creative. If you can do one part of it tomorrow, you have broken that myth. So with this advice, I would say positivity is inside you. Again, there is no royal road to getting positive. There is no one thing that endures you to grow into a resilient person. Be who you are, be what you want to be, but the key focus is to allow your passion to grow, to stay and become the purposeful person with something in your life that is changing not only you, but others every day. So stay positive with that and work on all your aspirations, grow every day in this pandemic because this is here to stay for long. This is not probably going to get over soon, but I am wishing you that you will stay as positive as your mindset and thoughts. And I wish you all the best. If there's something that you find you cannot break out, please do reach out to me. I will help you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Raina ma'am. Thank you so much for your wonderful inputs regarding this positive mindset. Thank you. Truly.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Your presence here. Now, before inviting the last guest of this program, I want to say a few words on my behalf because we are giving all the directions to people, but at the same time, you have to request the governments because they are the people in the deciding place. They are the people, they can shift anything in a fraction of a second. So the problem with this second wave is actually we are misled because on international platform, our India greatly announced that we conquered COVID-19. With that, people have started celebrations. And moreover, we have started not seeing or not calculating our people, our population, and the requirements that we need to have here. We started importing to other nations. Actually, that is a good thing, but that has to be done after procuring whatever that are required for our population based on our needs and necessities. So last year, we have conquered first wave of COVID-19. That is because of herd immunity, not by the efforts of government, but that's by the efforts of people. They have sacrificed. So that's a herd immunity prevented that problem. This time also, politicians are expecting herd immunity will save them, but it will save them at the cost of 10% of Indian population, which means almost 13 crore population. So this is a devastating news to be heard because we people are not ready to lose 13 crore population at this juncture because they are saying that only the people who are suffering with the other diseases will die. No, they are not supposed to die because they are supposed to live for a long time. But because of incapability of some political people, this is what happening. This is what witnessing the deaths on the streets in Delhi and some other states. So in my personal life, I have been witnessing, I have lost more than 100 people, those who are around me in the last 1 or 2 months. This is what I witnessed. So almost I lost all my hope because of the scenarios when the people, those who are close to me, are surrounded by death threats with the pandemic. So how can we be in the safe zone? It won't. So how many positive inputs we may get inside us, but at some extent it worked, but it may not work. It works when governments come forward and help people. So I request on this platform, our government, we have to procure the vaccines that are required for 130 crore population. That has to be done first. And second one, oxygen cylinders. That is the main cause of maximum number of deaths that are being faced by our people. So this has to be done in the second one. And third one, we have to develop medical infrastructure. Because we are thinking that by exporting all vaccines and all, we think that we can get international reputation, but the international community is laughing at us because of our stupidity. They are saying that it is stupidity because we can see so many international magazines, they are criticizing us because of what we have done before the second wave pandemic. So we have to speak about facts at times, because we cannot sugarcoat everything, and we cannot throw all the blame on people. At times, we have to request the governments that they have to, because at this juncture, they can help us, they can protect us. So I request the government on this occasion, at this platform, a war against COVID-19. So we have to procure on war food the vaccines that are required. Yes, it can be done if all pharmaceutical companies in India will come together on one platform with the help of central government and state governments. It can be done, one thing. And second thing is oxygen cylinders. It can be procured as soon as possible. If all state governments and central government come together and work on war food, it can also be done. So anyway, last is last, but at least we have to save the people, those who are on the streets to expecting for the treatment for the disease. So it has to be done. At least the people, those who are dying, they should be cremated with dignity, because there are so many pathetic scenes. They are devastating the lives or the hearts of the people, those who are in India and in the international community also. So at this juncture, I am requesting the government to do the needful, and I request the last speaker of this session, Dr. Deepti Joshi ma'am. Please give your valuable inputs regarding the positive mindset of people. Please.
First of all, I would deeply thank the earlier speakers, ma'am. You have done a wonderful job of reducing my burden, because I'm actually have nothing to speak, because you have covered almost everything. And not just that, because when I was thinking of concept, okay, these are the things. And from your insights, like I really learned that I could think of some 10 things, and you were adding some 100 things to it. So I'm really grateful to all three of you that I learned a lot from this. And also, like, always thankful to you that you give this opportunity. Now, I will just share what works with me. Like I have anxiety, like whether or not pandemic exists. I have fear of very small things. Like, if a lion comes, I may not be afraid, but I'm really afraid of a cockroach. So even my children say that, what you do, like, you're not afraid with the very big things, and you get scared of very small things, because, anxiety or fear is a thing where, when you show courage, it goes away. If a lion or a tiger comes, I know that I have to show courage, If a cockroach comes, I know that it won't do anything. So I don't do anything with my fear. So the fear takes up. And I think this should be with everyone, like everyone, that, with big things, we kind of, we face it at any cost. And so we don't experience with small things where we do not participate in it, we get afraid. So I think with pandemic, there are, like, if there is fear, there's a reason for fear. If there is frustration, there's a reason for frustration. If there's sadness, there's a reason for sadness. It's not without reason, and we can't just invalidate the feelings of people and of ourselves also. So what I do, because last year we were thinking that 2020 kharab hai, that's what I kept hearing, that, let 2020 go. 2021 is going to be like, wow. And we just thought, and now 2021 is like making us feel that 2020 was better, like 2020 was very far better, I would say, than what we are seeing here. The half year is not even gone. So this is the reason why people are fearful, because last year we had hope that a year will pass and we will be all okay. But this year, we do not know that what's going to happen, how long it's going to go. Like, we don't know. Like last year, we had hope that it's going to be for a few months. Then we thought a year. Now, people are saying that it may last, the impact may last for 4 to 5 years, and COVID is going to stay here with us, and we have to be prepared that we live with it, just like we are living with TB, etc. So we have to be prepared. So what I have, like because my background is so that for everything, I search for a shortcut, because I have been multitasking, which is not possible. So for this also, I found myself being frustrated, because you don't know, like everything that you plan, whether it's your personal life, your professional life, anything that you plan, your plans are all destroyed, Say if I had planned something for the month of May, it's locked down. So you can't help, like no one can help actually. So I kind of developed a practice which I will share, and not everything that I do can be helpful for everyone because we all are unique, But out of 10 things that I do, maybe one thing will be helpful to others. So the shortest and the sweetest thing that I think is in my capacity is to breathe, because I get lots of anxiety. Even if pandemic is not there, I have that anxiety. So even if I have to speak, like for today, if I had to come before my name was announced, I would kind of have churning in my stomach, Now I know that I'm not going to lose anything or, but that is part of me. So all I have to do is I just have to breathe, So the breathing, it gives me kind of, it's a miracle. Like when you can't do anything, you just breathe, stay calm, observe that yes, you are experiencing the fear. You just can't say that no, I'm not fearful. I am. You can't say that I'm not frustrated. I am. So you have, and what happens earlier? What I used to do is I used to avoid it. So I used to get some distraction. So those are good methods. Like listening to music is a good method, but it's a way of distraction where you're not, kind of not experiencing fully, but you're avoiding. So yeah, all these things are valid. You have to exercise, you have to do everything, meditation, everything. But the most important thing is you experience it fully. So if you have fear, sit with the fear. You experience it fully until and unless it goes by itself, Unless it settles, don't try to avoid it, because I'm feeling anxiety or if I'm feeling fear and I'm kind of, switching my attention elsewhere. So this is the worst thing that I used to do. And I realized that the best example, when I had a mentor, the person shared a very good example of Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda is a monk, and we all know how a monk mindset is. So when he was traveling somewhere, he had monkeys behind him, and he got scared and he started to run away. And the monkey started chasing him. So there was a wise man who was going, and he said, "Why are you running?" So he said, "Can't you see the monkeys behind you?" So he said, "Yes, you face them and they will just go away. They are chasing you because you're running away. They think that you have food or something of their benefit. If you face them, they will just see and they will run away or they will go away." And he did exactly the same thing. He faced those monkeys and the monkeys felt everything okay. They just observed and they went away. So similarly with all our fears, all the feelings, all the feelings that scares us basically. So what happens is we get scared, we kind of run away from those, whether it's fear, whether it's sadness or any negative feelings, we kind of avoid. So I used to avoid a lot. And trust me, this has helped me a lot. Like whenever I get that feeling, I kind of experience it fully. I don't avoid it or I don't put up that fake smile because, no matter, so if you avoid it temporarily, it will resurface, if you haven't settled yourself with it. So every technique helps. Every technique does help wonderfully, but it will not get rid of the problem because in my experience, none of the techniques really work as much as sitting with your feeling and experiencing it fully and just seeing when the feeling goes on its own. So in pandemic, because we all are full of fear, full of frustration. So the best thing is, it is again a part of meditation also, because when you meditate, more or less you do the same thing because you breathe, you kind of observe. So when you observe, you're observing your emotions also. So that's very important. Like that is one thing that worked for me. Does not mean it works with everyone, but this is one thing that worked with me. Second is like, how I was told that, think of people that inspires you or, where, there is an example where a person was fearful. So one example was Swami Vivekananda. For me, Jhansi Ki Rani is another example where, I kind of, so where, you are in a situation where you can't breathe or you don't have time, you can't be calm, like in a public space or something. I would really visualize those people, and then that kind of, motivates you, and you kind of, at least from outside, you look normal. Now, right now also, if I'm speaking, I know that inside I'm anxious, but on surface, I don't look. So that also helps. It's a shortcut, and but that worked with me. And the best thing is be around those who are fearless. So now in practice, I did not find a single person who is fearless. I just used to think that I'm the only one who gets afraid or something. But no, like whether or not people admit, we all are equal and we all get fearful. Like it's not just only I feel anxious when I have to speak. I think we all feel it. Whether or not we observe it or we realize it or we admit, maybe I feel it more, others feel it less or something like that. But I realized that no, I'm not the only one who gets afraid. Earlier I used to think like that. So then I was like, who is the person who does not feel fear, who is in my contact? I did not find a single one, trust me, but I found children who are below the age of say 7 to 8, they are absolutely fearless until you threaten them. Like if you're threatening them, they will have a fear which you have imposed on them. But otherwise, they're absolutely fearless, They don't think that they will fail. Like that's the reason children fall often, because they do something which is not their capacity. Like they don't think that something is impossible. They just do it and so they fall. We be cautious that, oh, I'll fall down, how people will think about me. So we take calculated steps. And if I know that I can't go beyond that, I would not even try. But if you be with children, the energy is contagious, So I have experienced this. So I kind of, because my kids are all grown up, so there's no point in talking to my children, but I go to orphanage a lot, which I'm missing right now in the pandemic. But if you just be with them, just by playing with them, your mind kind of gets those qualities, maybe unconsciously by observing or something, but you kind of get rid of your anxieties, fear, your negative thinking, because these children have the tremendous power, or maybe unconsciously we are observing them, but be with children, learn from them, or reconnect with the child in you, because as a child, we also were fearless. Like as a child, I never thought that, in my school days, I was so fearful. All those fears started after being an adult. After being an adult, I had an impression that what others will think, others may criticize, others may judge me. And then I started judging myself. It's not about others judging me. I judge myself more. But as a child, we never did that. We never judged others. We never judged ourselves. So that is one quality that probably we all need to develop. If we talk about fear, if you want to get rid of fear, so these are 3-4 things that I practiced and that kind of worked with me. And today I learned many things from all you speakers because I had no insights about all these things, but I'm really grateful that I surely practice like all the things that I have learned today. So that's all that I have to share.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for your wonderful inputs. So, there is some technical problems from my side. I request Dr. Aruna ma'am to give some conclusion to this program, ma'am.
Yes. Thank you so much, Dr. Rajarao. And yes, we had a lovely panel of speakers here, Dr. Caroline, Mrs. Rena, and Dr. Deepti. And yes, Dr. Deepti, I completely agree with you that we are with fears. Not everybody, what I said, it is easy saying than doing it, right? We have to face. So this pandemic is that we have to face what is coming and what are we surrounded with. And that is how that fear also, a positive mindset is what fear you have in you has to be faced. You have to face that. You have to face this pandemic, face the situation, agree to what is happening in and around you. That is very, very important. And this talk show, or I should say this show was really benefit to all the audience viewers, because each one of us, or each one of the speakers here were really amazing to give that positiveness, spread that vibes, spread that positiveness mindset to everybody. And I think all the viewers, all the audience who are watching this, listening to us, will definitely start thinking, yes, there is something that we have to ponder upon. That is, there is something that we have to really think on our own self. So that is what is the takeaway I think our viewers would have. And Dr. Raja Rao, you're wonderful. And yes, the government always need to help us, but also we have to extend our hands together to do the needful, to whatever help we can to the society. And yes, I'm thankful to everyone, Dr. Carolyn, Mrs. Raina, Dr. Deepti, and Dr. Raja Rao. Thank you so much for having us on this platform and giving us this opportunity. Have a lovely evening. Be safe, be happy, keep yourself with all the precautions that you have. Thank you.